Hey, what's going on YouTube? Dad with a bike. And yes, we are in my garage because today we're going to actually be putting on the new cruise control that I got from MCCruise. So stick around and we're going to see if we can figure out how to do this install. So we'll be back in a second. Alright y'all, thanks for sticking around. So first and foremost, if you are new to the channel and you like these mods that we do me a favor, stab that subscribe, give me a like, and set that notification bell so you'll know the next time I upload a video. So yes, I was using the Atlas throttle lock before. I was flying down the road and the Atlas throttle lock broke. And that was my opportunity to say, well, am I going to replace that? Or am I going to try something more permanent? So I decided to go the more permanent route, and I went and got the cruise control for the Indian Scout Bobber from MCCruise. Now this is a true, or it's supposed to be a true cruise control where you set it and forget it, kind of a cruise control, just like you would on a bagger or any other bike. So that's what we're going to install. It's fairly involved, so it's going to take me a bit to probably do it right. I've got a ton of instructions, and as a matter of fact, I'll show you what all came in the box. Alrighty y'all, so when you get the box, this is all that comes in it. There's a lot of stuff here. Get a nifty little sticker, business card, and then you get more or less the wiring harness, which will go to all the different control modules that this needs to plug into. This does need to plug into like where your ECU is, so that's no problem. It's got the actual control box itself that comes. This is the actual cruise control mechanism in this little bag. So it's supposed to be pretty simple to do. And then look like a bunch of wire ties and some other kind of harnesses. And then you get a lot of instructions. I mean, I've got books of instructions here. Now, it looks more daunting than it is because these guys have put together this instruction booklet like to the T. I mean, they show you pictures, exactly what to do. Yeah, if you notice there, they point out arrows. So this is a crazy thorough set of instructions. And so we're gonna dive in, we're gonna adhere to these instructions as much as possible. And I do have my trusty little laptop in case I need to jump on the interwebs and look something up. All right, so now that we've kind of jumped around and talked about what came in the box, I'm gonna talk about what I'm gonna most likely have to do to get prepped with the bike. All right, so first and foremost, this fairing has to come off because I know the control box is going to fit kind of inside the fairing on the other side of the light cowl. I'm pretty darn certain that the tank is going to have to come off. So we'll do this, we'll take the tank off. And of course with that the seat comes off. So it's going to be the seat, the tank, and the fairing will all come off. Now if you've never taken the tank off your Indian Scout Bobber, you know, do yourself a solid and read the manual on how to do it. But it's really not that complicated. This comes off, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts on this that comes off. Then you have to unplug your fuel line, and then up underneath is a connector that you have to unplug, that's your electrical connector. And then once you take your seat off, there are 2 overflow tubes that you need to undo. So I'm not gonna walk through how to take your tank off. When we come back, all this stuff will be off and we'll be prepped to do the install. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, everybody. We got the bike prepared for the install because you may or may not have to take off the tank. I don't know. I know I want to take off the tank because I'm going to run the wiring that direction, so it's no big deal. But I've got everything prepped. Disconnected the negative. I've got the fuse box pulled out so I can get to other things that are in there because I suspect some of the electronics are going to have to go in here. I've got the front of the bike taken apart, so I got my fairing off. I got my handlebar bag off so that we can now begin to do the mounting. And the first thing that they want you to do in the instructions is actually mount this piece. So this is the actual control piece, or the handlebar control piece. And essentially it is going to fit or sit, I think, yeah, just like that. So we're gonna do that. It comes with some bolts. Really, that's all they want you to do. Is the first step is to fit this on. So we're gonna do that real quick and come back and it'll be fitted. Well, we've got the first part of it installed, which is the controls. And then, you know, ideally or theoretically, the way this is gonna work, assuming I can get it all on, is this is like being able to turn the power on and then like setting all the different control stuff. I don't know that I like the way that it mounts that high. I probably should have gotten one of the other mount types that mounts it low. They come with different mount brackets, but you need to order the specific mount at the time you buy it. So I'm gonna keep it here for now, but I may make my own mount where I mount it to my handlebar down here or something like that, get it out of the way and make it a bit more sleek and dynamic. Don't know, but for now, it's there. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna install or mount the control module itself. So the control module itself is supposed to sit over here, or the version that I bought, because I bought the inside the cowl. It's gonna sit over here and essentially just be like this thing that's affixed to the cowl. I don't remove my my fairing ever when I ride, so it's not that big of a deal. If you don't want it to show you got fairing, whatever the case may be, they come with other mounts or other ways to mount this. You can mount it on the frame, you can mount it in all kinds of different places, but the one that I bought gets mounted here. Again, you choose this at the time you buy it, so make sure that you choose it correctly, because this stuff ships from Australia and it takes a spell to get here. So it took me about a week and some change to get all of this stuff here. So when we come back, we'll have this affixed to the light. So we'll be back in a second. Well, here we are. We have the computer itself, module, whatever you want to call it, installed to the light. And the way that installs is there's a little screw that comes with it, and then there's this bracket. And essentially this Velcros to this bracket, and then the bracket has a hook so that it can hook and grab onto the side of the headlight, and that's how it stays seated. Now once we get this all set, we'll take some a zip tie, and we'll actually zip tie this thing on so that it doesn't wiggle. So we'll do that in just a little bit. But one of the things that I wanted to do, or wanted to show you, is, you know, here's the computer. I've got the wiring harness for it installed, because what I want to do next is go grab my fairing and make sure that my fairing fits. Because if you do have a fairing, you want to make sure that this is all good, everything clears, and it's all okay. So when we come back, I'll have moved on to the next step, assuming that this fits with my fairing just fine. So be back in just a bit. Alrighty, y'all, so first failure. When it is on the headlight cowl down here, the fairing doesn't fit on. So if you're looking at the MCCruise and you rock any of Memphis Shade's fairings, just know that the headlight cowl install piece won't work. You're gonna need to figure something else out. For me, I'm going to worry about it in a different manner. I'm probably going to figure out how I'm going to mount it along with the other wires that I've got set up here, and then just zip tie the bundle of wires together, because my handlebar bag goes over the top of this stuff anyway. So that's how I'm going to solve it, but just so you have a heads up, fairing owners, beware. You'll need to think about a different box for that install. Alrighty, y'all, so we've got now what we have is we've got the handlebar control down, and it's connected into the harness. You can't mess it up. You can't mess that up. Actually, the instructions are like uber clear on wire connectivity, so you can't really mess that up. So that gets connected there. And then I went ahead and ran the main all the way down, and it's here. So this will get plugged into our ECU later, or the port, diag port or CAN bus port, whatever they call it later. The next part is going to be a bit more tricky, and I have to follow the instructions super clear. So the reason why my wiring looks like a mess is because I clipped all of the wire ties so that I could get to all these wires. But, you know, follow the instructions that come with the packet. It's really, really easy to do, should be. You're gonna be messing with this plug right here, this one that's black with clear pins in the front, this plug, and then you will be doing some work with this main plug down here. And there's a diagram that comes with it. They tell you which ones you have to do. You have to depin some things so that you can pin in these new ones. Now depinning on these is not hard. I'm going to show you the tool to use to depin. This is it. It's like a jeweler's screwdriver. If you got a jeweler's screwdriver, you can do this no problem. Follow the instructions. When I come back, hopefully all this is put back together. Sorry, I can't video this while I'm doing it because I need two hands and it's a little bit meticulous. But the instructions in the instruction kit are uber clear. That's my thumbs up for MCCruise and their instructions. Most epic instructions ever. Solid job. So we'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, everybody. Well, we are all done. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double check all my connections. I'm going to walk through the manual again and make sure I got all my connections done. Like I said, the manual is very clear, so that's not, difficult at all. Just be patient, take your time, follow the instructions. Then I got my wire routed so that it goes down on the frame, up under into the battery compartment, and then connected into the CAN bus plug that's in the back. So theoretically, that is all connected. So I'm gonna finish up, tighten everything up, and then get it to where it's testable, and then I'll test it. But there's a whole series of instructions on how to set actually all of the stuff so that this actually works, because there's like a whole series of menu things you have to go through. And we'll do that, and I'll come back and let you know how difficult that was. Again, that's one of those things where I've got to read some directions, poke on some buttons. It looks like you just follow the directions. So far, that's been the case with this install from MCCruise. It has been 100% accurate on the instructions. So I'll let you know if it differs or if I find out anything crazy. So we'll be back in just a bit. All right, everybody, we are done. I just got to put some stuff back together. I'll make the wiring all nice, but I got it all wired up. I got it tested, I got it calibrated. I just took it for a ride around the subdivision. The Cruise works like a dream. Super simple to operate, turning it on. This is to set it or accelerate. This is to reduce. You pull in the brake and the Cruise shuts off. You apply the clutch, the Cruise shuts off. So all of that works flawlessly. Amazing MCCruise, amazing. That's all I can say. Now the calibration of all of this was long, but it was easy to follow. The instructions are perfect. So this is awesome. Follow the instructions. They are super clear, best instructions ever. Alrighty, y'all, well that concludes the install of the MCCruise. Now I am going to let y'all know what I think about it, because I think there's some opportunities for me to go out for quite a long ride this weekend, and I'm going to go do that. I'm going to try this Cruise, and I'll come back to the class and let y'all know. There's a lot of parts in this installation that I didn't film because I needed both my hands to do stuff. I can tell you this, it is extremely simple to do. If you follow the instructions, which is really, really easy to do because they do pictures for every single step. The guys at MCCruise did one hell of a job on the instructions for how to get this installed and get it running. So far, so good. We'll come back with a real review of what I think about it. So until then, we're out of here. So y'all take care. Y'all be nice. Y'all be kind. Peace.